Hello, people of Earth and elsewhere, and welcome back to Spam Crackers Continues Joestar Struck. Now, we're just gonna have to start an entirely new game. We're picking up right from where I just left off. Concerning Joseph's route, which may or may not be incredibly disappointing. Okay, now we're gonna say what's it to you this time, because why not? The guy gives an awkward laugh. Well, I mean, Mr. Jonathan asked me to give you a tour. Oh, okay. This is Josuke. You can call me Leslie still. Leslie just did not luck out with Joseph, apparently. Shall we get going? Sure, why not? Skip all the dialogue. Yeah, we're gonna get sassy with Joseph again, because this won't affect anything. We gotta get going, fish guy. Fish! Well, I guess I had that one coming. He gives Josuke a pat on the back for good measure before giving us a cheery goodbye. Hi. You see Caesar, tell him to meet me by the fountain or he automatically loses the race. The race? But his question is heard only by me because Joseph is jogging merrily down the hall and turning the corner. Well, that guy is certainly something. Yeah, that's one way to put it. But he's really not a bad guy, he's just rambunctious. Yeah, that's a good word. Blah blah blah, we tour. If Josuke has the only good ending, then I'm gonna be a little disappointed here. Not gonna lie. Here's Mr. Jonathan. Yeah, we're gonna sup. I can see his smile slip slightly, but he seems to take it in stride. He's probably used to informal speech from students after all. Did Josuke give you a good tour? Blah blah blah, we committed a couple of petty crimes. Do you want to introduce yourself? Not really, but here we go anyway. Hi, I'm Leslie. Ready to get this year over with. And that's it. Yep. Thank you. The backseat this time. Let's see if my theory is correct. Any student would agree that the back of the class is the sweet spot of seats, so my choice is a no-brainer. I hike my backpack up onto my shoulder and make a beeline to the back of the room. As I situate myself, Mr. Jonathan launches back into his lesson. Fall back into the normal routine of taking notes, zoning out. School is the same anywhere you go. When the class ends, Josuke is the first to grab his bag and leave. I shrugged at myself and grabbed my own bag. Leslie, would you mind staying back for a minute or two? Oh? Again, another request that I have to fulfill even though I don't want to. Teachers have too much power. Sure. I hang back as the class filters out. When the last student leaves, I'm completely alone with Mr. Jonathan. Something I'm not upset about. I can't help but notice how freaking big he is. Beautiful. He could break me like a damn toothpick if he wanted to. But when he smiles like that, I can't imagine him hurting a fly. How was your first day? Is this really what he wanted to talk to me about? Huh. That's kinda sweet, actually. I liked it. I think I could get used to it. School's, well, school. Oh, before I forget, he goes to his desk and grabs a neatly stapled packet of papers. You live close to one of your fellow classmates. He holds the papers out to me. He didn't come to class today, so I thought you could drop these off on your way home. It'll be a great way for you to meet the last of our little class. I take the packet from him and look over the first page. It was the stuff we went over in class today. Sure, that shouldn't be a problem. Jonathan smiles. Thank you, Leslie. He leans forward a little bit. And thank you for joining our class. I know things are going to be a bit different at UniQ Academy, but I know you're going to do great. Gonna do great. I leave quickly, a light blush creeping to my cheeks. As is appropriate. With the packet of homework Mr. Jonathan gave me, I followed the directions to this Jotaro's house. Okay, good. So I did do it. I did it good. He lives on the same street as me, so this shouldn't take long. As I look for the house, numbers scribbled on the post-it notes, my gut clenches in anxiety. What I've heard about Jotaro comes to mind and I gulp. He can't be that bad. I'm sure what I was told was just an exaggeration or something. Sure, he seems to have a reputation at school made for delinquent punks, but how bad can it be? I mean, I go to that school, and it's not like I deserve... Oh. I found it. It's only a handful of houses away from mine. I double-check the house number to make sure it's correct before stepping up to the front door. Letting out a deep breath, I press the doorbell. Nobody's home, goodbye. It's quiet. I can't hear any footsteps from inside, or at least a voice reassuring me that someone is on their way to answer. So I ring the doorbell again. Put it in the mailbox. No, it's still quiet. Maybe no one is home? I lean back and check the driveway. But as I do, the door clicks as if it's being unlocked, and I stand up straight to greet who answered, and I find myself face to face with the broodiest mug I have ever seen. Jotaro. My words fail me. Is this him? This tall, beefy mofo that's staring at me as if hoping I evaporate where I stand? I open my mouth to speak, but I don't know where to begin. Good evening, I'm your new classmate. Hey, a handsome, feeling lonely in this big old house? What's up, man? I also go to that whack-ass school. Well, we'll just save over all of Joseph's spots. I mean... you know what? I'll be polite. Just through this time. My name is Leslie, and Mr. Jonathan asked me to drop these off for you since I only live down the street from here. I offer him the packet of schoolwork, keeping my eyes on the printed text. Jotaro doesn't say anything, and I gulp. I inch the homework forward a tiny bit, hoping he doesn't take the damn thing. Before too much of an awkward moment passes, he grabs it. Thanks. I look up in time to catch him nod at me in appreciation. That was all I needed to do. I guess I can just excuse myself and go home, but... You are Jotaro, right? He looks back at me as if to confirm. It really is nice to meet you, Jotaro. I'll see you... Is there supposed to be a text box up here? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be nitpicking these things, but quality assurance. He shuts the door in my face without a word. Around. I scoff under my breath. That only means my little task is done. I turn around to leave the property and head straight to my house to conclude the day. Where the hell's the snooze button? There it is. Alright, I'm up. I sit up tiredly and look at my clock. The little glowing numbers tell me it's still pretty early. I had set it earlier with the intentions of getting to school before everyone else and maybe talking with Mr. Jonathan a bit more. But now that's actually time to put the effort into the idea, I'm not so sure. Big mood. The snooze button is looking like a damn temptress. Do I want to talk with Mr. Jonathan more? Not this time. I lean forward and turn the alarm off before slumping over. Unikyu Academy, Day 2. Start. Like I thought the campus is like a ghost town, not another soul in sight. Wait a minute. I meant to hit snooze, stupid me. I cave into my sleepy desires and smack the snooze button. Ah, my bed's so toasty. The morning started as per usual. I got dressed, ate breakfast, and was out the door with time to spare. Time for my second day at Unikyu Academy. It was spelled differently there, by the way. I considered picking up the pace to avoid the inevitable crowd at the school gates, but then I found myself standing in front of Jotaro's house. My eyes go from the front door to the curtained windows and out towards the street leading to school. I took in a contemplative breath while thinking back to our interaction the day before. He definitely thinks I'm weird. I could make up for him and invite him to walk to school. But would he even go? Probably not. I was told he frequently ditches, like everybody else. What if he's not even home? I shift on my feet, urging myself to make a decision. Jotaro, you are going to be my friend. Even B, why should I even care? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Maybe he punches me, I don't know. I gather up my nerve and approach the front door. I'll only ring the doorbell once. Just once. If he doesn't answer, then he's either out or still asleep. And if he's still asleep, then I'd just be a jerk if I woke him up with the doorbell. I take in a deep breath and press the button. I can hear the chime from inside and steel myself where I stand. Damn, that sounded louder than before. A countdown starts in my head and I stare at where the door meets the door frame. Where my anxiety significantly builds, I hear the same click of the door lock. Although, can I just say the art for, like, the sliding door looks way different than for either of these houses? Whatever. Jotaro cracks open the door and looks at me. Again, sliding door. As silent as ever. And it's making me nervous. Good morning! I give a slight bow in greeting. I was thinking, his eyes seem to focus on everything else but my face. Want to walk to school together? In an attempt to be polite, I try to smile, but it feels like I'm just giving away how uncool he's making me feel. Jotaro doesn't even seem to react. I mean, if you're even going today. I try to save myself, but before given a real chance, Jotaro starts to close the door. No. The door clicks shut, and I'm left in the same spot as yesterday. Maybe I'd be lying if I said I wasn't expecting this. I turn around to continue my walk to school by myself. It didn't even take more than 10 steps when I heard the banging of a door closing behind me and the voice of a younger kid calling out to someone. You're gonna get in trouble if you skip too many days, stupid. Make sure you go sometime this week. It's Jolene! I knew I could find her in this game. I turn around, curiosity getting the better of me, and I see some girl wearing the local middle school's uniform leaving Jotaro's house. Yay! Her hair is styled in twin buns and her bangs are dyed pink. They have middle school for delinquents too? Who runs that one? Who runs that one? The expression on her face reminds me of Jotaro's, an edgy broodiness with a girlish twist. A sister? Or a daughter? The latter wasn't entirely impossible. Yes, it is. I keep walking to avoid coming across as suspicious as she passes me in no time. As unlikely as it seems, I wonder if I'll learn the whole story behind this girl and Jotaro. Probably not. So if I just kept walking, I wouldn't have met Jolene. Okay. The next morning, I start my walk to school. Sure, it's been taking some adjusting to this place, but I can say that I like it. I muse over the past few days when I reach Jotaro's house. My steps start to falter when someone comes out the front door. It's the same middle schooler I saw last time. Her twin buns wrapped tight at the top of her head, below those dyed bangs a scowl reminiscent of Jotaro's. I mean, I would like to get acquainted with Jotaro's. A relative. I'm pretty sure she's a sister in this game, though. Good morning! I call out to her and she stops to look at me. Her eyes are as piercing as Jotaro's and it rips a nervous smile out of me. Hey. She continues walking. I'm losing her. I quicken my pace to walk beside her. Are you, well, a relative of Jotaro's? Quick and straight to the point. What could go wrong? She glances at me almost accusingly. You're not even gonna ask me for my first name, and you're just dishing out all these questions about my personal life? Well, damn. I look back at her with a non-existent comeback stuck in my throat. Relax. She's just a kid. Gotta set an example for the future generation. My bad, you're right. I'm Leslie, and you are? Jolene. I catch the satisfied smirk she tries to hide. It's nice to meet you, Jolene. She shrugs and keeps her eyes on the sidewalk we share. I guess. We both fall quiet next, just the sound of our shoes against the pavement, filling the chilly morning air. This certainly wasn't how I planned my morning to go. If anything, I expected to walk alone and anticipating the wild shit that will inevitably go down once I arrive at Gunikyu. Again, how are you actually supposed to spell that? Wasn't there something you wanted to ask me? Oh yeah. I look at Jolene with somewhat of a smile. Gotta set that example. Right, I just wanted to know if you were a relative of Jotaro's. I noticed you came out of his house. I'm his sister. Thank goodness. Oh. Oh? He has a sister? Talk about unexpected. It's not like that ever happens to anyone. Right, it's just weird. I mean, considering Jotaro. You're weird. That's fair. Sure, you shouldn't generalize, but damn. Kids these days. I probably shouldn't even be talking. I don't really know him. So, you're not one of his friends? Nah. Does he even have friends? Jolene is quiet for a moment. You know, I'm not really sure. You're his own sister and you don't even know if he has friends? I shake my head and tisk my tongue. That would be clicking your tongue. The girl huffed defensively. It's not like I know everything about him. He always keeps him to himself. What do you know, then? He has this hat. A hat? He's always wearing it. Wouldn't be surprised if he was born with that ugly thing fused to his skull. Now that I think about it, he was wearing a hat the times I saw him. That's... weird. I only nod in response. As we round the corner, we reach the intersection that branches out our path. Jolene was due to turn left to reach the middle school, while I need to turn right. Guess I'll see you around, weirdo. I force a smile and wave her off, and then continue my walk to the academy. I walk past the school gates among fellow students and head for the building to get to class. Another day, another bizarre adventure. I approve. Not that anybody needs my approval, but I do. The walk home is quiet and peaceful. It's a nice change of scenery to get away from the chaos of school. I turned the street corner to enter my neighborhood, and that's when I see her. Jotaro's sister. Shit. What was her name? I stare at the back of her head as I try to channel my hidden and unknown psychic abilities. Nothing. But that's when I see it. The name tag on her bag. I quicken my step to get a bit closer so I can read it. Jolene Kujo. She turns around. Oh shit. Hey, Jolene, right? She gives me a quizzical look before nodding. I really like her uniform. It's super cute. You were the one who gave my brother that homework, right? I recognize you from when you dropped it off. She saw me. Jolene turns around to keep walking and motions for me to follow. I almost trip over my own feet to catch up to her. Well, yeah, I was. Is he, done with it? Yeah, actually. You need it back? You can come by right now and pick it up. Can't he turn it in himself? Sure, I'll turn it in for him. I can keep coming across as nice, or I can actually, like, you know, sass. Well, we'll sass this time. What's the worst that could happen? I don't get a good ending? He can turn it in himself, can't he? As far as I know, he hasn't been to school in a while, so if he needs a reason, here it is. Jolene scoffs with amusement. I mean, you're not wrong. I'll let him know then. But chances are he still won't go. He's gonna end up expelled or something. Hates school that much? How long has it been since he went? She shrugs. Hell if I know, but thanks anyway for dropping it off and all that. Yeah, no problem. We get closer to the Kujo house, and Jolene waves me off before entering. I wave back and make sure the door closes behind her before continuing on my own way home. It is now May. Part of me wants to take a note from Jotaro's delinquent book and not go to school today. I sit up with a sigh. Time to get ready, I guess. On my way to school, I pass by Jotaro's place. I can see that their living room light is on. Bounce on my heels, debating if I should invite Jotaro to class and risk annoying him. Curtains are pulled open, so I see a bit of movement. I peek through the window, common decency be damned, and I see... Wait, is that... What I see wasn't what I was expecting. Then again, I didn't know what I was expecting. Jotaro's not wearing the hat! What is this heresy? Jolene is sitting on the floor with Jotaro behind her, hands in her hair as he delicately styles it. And it's a different color this time. They seem to be talking about... About what? Hell if I know. But it seems like such a natural interaction. It brings to mind the possibility of Jotaro doing this for her every day. The thought warms my heart. It was so unlike the image of Jotaro I've held onto for so long. This rugged, secretive, bitch-faced delinquent carefully styling the hair of his little sister. I wonder if he was the one who dyed her hair for her, too. Or at least took her to the salon and paid for it to get it done. I realize out of the other times that I've seen them together, this moment is when they seem the most close. The closest. But maybe they were always this close. Or is this the one thing they can do together out of all their other interests or hobbies? Not that styling hair fits Jotaro, because it really doesn't, but seeing that it's something he probably picked up to do for Jolene definitely sheds some new light on the guy. I finally back up, not wanting to get caught, and go to the front door. I'm smiling and can't stop it, but I press the doorbell anyway. For a moment, I wonder who's going to answer. But before I can put any more thought into the question, the door opens and Jolene is standing in the doorway. The hair colors are different and it's kind of bothering me. I'm about to greet her when I notice the one hair bun on her head and the rest of her hair is down, unstyled. Ah, gee, I could have waited a bit for Jotaro to finish her hair. Jotaro, your friend is here! She hollers out before I can say anything to her and disappears back inside. Don't worry, I'll do the rest myself. I hear her talk to her brother from inside, and I'm soon looking up at Jotaro Kujo himself. Reality speaks. He's like a foot taller than I am. Jotaro just looks at me. Any hint of softness I saw minutes before had turned hard and sharp. He's got the hat back on too. Can't let anybody see me without the hat. Guess I can't really expect much else from the guy. What are you doing here? School! I'm smiling too much, making it obvious I found out some kind of secret. Well, just wondering if you're gonna come today. He doesn't react at first, but he might as well have scoffed or rolled his eyes. Dunno. Well, it's not a hard no. Maybe there's hope? So if you do good, it'll probably just be on a whim? Probably. Such a man of little words. Then again, I suppose I should be grateful for the handful he's given me so far. Well, I guess I'll just go. I was gonna ask if you wanted to walk there together. I start to fidget on my feet. Being stuck under his gaze always seemed so daunting considering he's so hard to read. But he says nothing, as if expecting me to continue. But if you haven't made up your mind yet, I'll just go. Don't want to be late! I force out a laugh that sounds more pained than anything, and with a quick nod, I'm turning on my heel and leaving the property. I continue down the sidewalk, processing what just happened. It's a no-brainer that I don't know much about the guy, and what I witnessed only proves that further. Jotaro has only ever been pretty evasive. He always seems to want to be alone. He never says much of anything. Why do I even care? But I honestly can't help it. At this point, I'm pretty invested. Me too. To think this all started from dropping off that guy's homework. This all started because I chose the back seat. Oh shit, what about my homework? I know I finished it last night, but did I put it all in my bag before I left? I stopped walking and quickly unzipped my bag, finding the notebook that held my latest assignment was missing. Without even letting myself process another thought, I turn around and run back home. I walk into class as ready as ever to take on the day, but a new sight pulls my attention towards the back of the class. Jotaro is sitting in his assigned spot, feet propped up on top of the desk, hat pulled over his eyes. Is he asleep? And more importantly, is that really him? Here at school? As I approach my own desk, I get closer to him. There's no way this is some imposter. Who can mistake the edge of that jawline? I pull my chair out and sit down, my eyes still stuck to Jotaro. It's weird seeing him at school. Every time before this, I've only ever seen him at his house. If there's anything I've learned, it's I'm getting nowhere by being shy. I clear my throat to announce my presence. Good morning, Jotaro. It's nice to see you here for once. Jotaro doesn't say anything but tugs the bill of his hat further down his face. I can't help but see it as his own kind of greeting. Yeah, whatever. Miss Irina? Yay! More people we don't get to see! Please, can't we see Miss Irina and Miss Lisa? Today I'll be matching you all up with a partner. Question, it's gonna be really awkward if her name is Miss and not Mrs. We'll leave that question for Jonathan's route. Despite Miss Irina's sweet smile, everybody around me groans. Group work never has any fans, does it? Trust me, you'll want to find a partner for this project. Her smile is unwavering as she refers to one of the objects on her desk. So this looks like the same chemistry lab, just saying. It's a sack of flour? Oh no. Oh no, that's not what I think it is. You and a partner will be taking on the role of parents. It's exactly what you think it is. Your assignment is to simply take care of a baby. In other words, a tender sack of flour. It's the flour sack thing. She picks up the flour and cradles it in her arm as if it were an actual baby. She's so sweet. I wish I could see her. Some students laugh, already deciding this project is bleed out of sweat. The atmosphere also lightens up with most of us thinking it'll be pretty fun. Of course, it could be a nightmare depending on who ends up becoming your spouse. You will be spending today's class time meeting with your partner, naming your child, and dressing it up. Miss Arena sets down the flower baby and looks down at some paperwork on the teacher's podium. I've already divided you up into pairs, so listen closely for your name and who you will be working with. I lean back into my chair and anticipate my fate. Whoever I get stuck with, I'm sure it won't be too bad. If it's somebody who's a stickler for their grade, they're more than free to handle this project how they want. But if it's someone who couldn't care less, I can afford to step up and make sure we both pass. Leslie? Yes? I lift my head to give her my attention. Oh boy. And Jotaro Kujo. The one day he comes to school. Wait, really? Look over to Jotaro and he just nods at me. Can't even see his eyes. If he's already dreading this project, I don't blame him. He probably, definitely, most likely thinks I'm strange. But it's not like we're strangers. Miss Arena finishes up reading her list of pairs and turns us loose. One of you come up and fetch your baby. I also have other materials for you to decorate with. I turn back to Jotaro, but he's already getting up and heading towards the front of the class to collect what we need. I can't tell what he's picking up, but he's soon making his way back to me, arms full of miscellaneous craft supplies. We're not possibly gonna use all this, right? Maybe he had me in mind when he gathered them. Do I look like the crafty type? Do I? He nudges an empty seat nearby closer to me and sets the stuff down on my desk. What are we naming it? Is it just me or does he seem a little enthusiastic about this? Let Jotaro name it or name it yourself. Okay. He's kind of smiling here. I look like... Does Jotaro have a good end? Please tell me. If I name it, is it gonna come automatically with a name? Oh, sorry, I'll start slouching. Stop slouching. Let's see what he comes up with. You can choose, I'm not the best with names. Jotaro quiets for a moment to think. He's really putting some thought into it. I start to wonder if he'll give up and insist I come up with something, but then he holds up a finger. Jota. Nope, we're going back. I'm naming the baby. Don't you dare do that to me. I think I can come up with something. Why would we name it Green? We're not going there. No. We could call it Leslie Jr. Oh, I know! We're gonna name it Speedwagon! Because there's no Speedwagon in the game yet. What do you think of Speedwagon? Jotaro only shrugs, clearly not giving a shit. It's fine. I don't know if Speedwagon's in the game. He might be, but I don't care. We're naming the flour sack after him. I don't think he likes it. What the hell would he name it anyway? Something heretical. What? With that done, we just gotta personalize it. I grab the flour sack and set it between us. How do you want to do this? Jotaro fidgets with a roll of tape and he looks at the sack. It needs a face. He suggests poking at it. Right, so some eyes, and Jotaro grabs the sack and pulls something out of his pocket. It's a cigarette. I don't try to stop him and only watch. What the hell is he doing with that thing? He tears off a piece of tape and attaches the cigarette onto the flower baby. There's its mouth. He secures it with tape and grabs one of the markers he brought over to draw a crooked smile. The cigarette is placed perfectly as if it's between its lips. Huh. I only look at it, stumped beyond words. I guess, yeah, that'll work. Now it just needs eyes. Jotaro gives me the marker. Your turn. I take it and tap it against my chin in thought. The kid's eyes can make or break its looks. It's not like I'm Picasso or anything, but let's see how it turns out. It's best you don't draw the eyes like Picasso, trust me. I'm gonna draw cute eyes. Because of the heresy I was just exposed to earlier. In this world, it's rewarding to be cute as hell, wouldn't you say? Jotaro just shrugs and watches me draw. Sure, kawaii-esque eyes contrast harshly with the edge from the cigarette, but it makes our kid much more unique. Yes! Oh my gosh, I love the flower baby. When finished, I kept the marker and showed Jotaro. Cute, yeah? Yes. I pat the baby's head. It's okay, Speedwagon. Of course your dad thinks that you're the cutest damn thing in existence. I ignored the weird look Jotaro gives me. Come on, man, let me have fun with this. Now that the baby has a face, the both of us seem pretty satisfied, so I get up to return the rest of the materials. As I sit back down, Miss Arena speaks up. Before class ends, decide who is going to care for your child during the first week. You'll be switching parenting duty every week until the end of the project. I look to Jotaro and pat the flour sack. I'll take Speedwagon for the first week. That okay? Jotaro nods, reaching to adjust the cigarette he taped on. Sure. This means you'll be coming back, right? At least when we have to trade off? He pauses and looks at me. It'd be a dick move to start ditching school again and make me a single parent, let's be real. Yeah, I'll come back. He nudges the baby closer to me and tugs on the bill of his hat. And we're gonna end it there. For now. I like it so far, other than some improperly placed heresy. We will continue into Jotaro's route and hope that we can get a more satisfying ending than Joseph's. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, that's gonna be it, people of Earth and elsewhere. Thank you for watching this, and I hope to see you in the next video where we see where it goes with the flour sack baby that I have lovingly named Speedwagon. Which again, might be weird if he's actually in the game, but nobody's making a big fuss out of it yet. Bye! Ciao!